let's go. Hurry, they're going to go. Oh my God.
Get the chair, get the chair.
I did it.
Walk him out, hurry.
Oh
my God, I need to breathe.
Woo. I think we're good.
We're good, okay.
All right, guys.
Okay, guys. Shh. Many civilizations have foretold that the end of the world was near. And according to EBSCO, zombies bring to life our deepest fear retrieved on April 29th. Last month, the Department of Homeland Security urged people to prepare for the end of the world zombie apocalypse. Whew. We have watched an excessive amount of Walking Dead, and we have done an extensive amount of research on this apocalypse. And a zombie apocalypse is upon us today, and we will tell you how you can survive this. We will tell you best hideouts, where not to go, what to pack in your travel survival packs, and weapons that you could use in your defense. But first, let's start with a general topic. What are zombies? What are we dealing with?
Alright, so what are zombies? According to Zombie History and Hating Folklore from umcich.edu that I accessed on April 30, 2015, in countries like Haiti, basically voodoo priests use black magic to resurrect dead bodies. But now the thing is, when they resurrect the dead bodies, the person is not the same like they once were. The soul belongs to the devil. So that's why there's not much of communication. They're just much of moaning and groaning, and they have a demented face, and some chunk of their body is missing, or they don't really feel their body because it's controlled by the devil. Now, the question is, how can you tell if a zombie is coming at you, or how can you tell? How can you identify a zombie? Well, the answer is very simple. If you see a person come at you, and their hands are up, and their eyes are not here, and if they're just moaning and groaning, and not really saying much of words, and if like a chunk of, if their shoulder is missing, or if their eye is not there, or their head is half chopped off, then chances are, and if they want to eat you, chances are they're probably zombies.
So run away.
Fast. So now that you know what zombies are and how you can identify them, let's turn it over to Jeremy and have him talk about survival kits.
All right, thank you, my man. In order to survive a zombie apocalypse, you need to be prepared for the worst case scenario. Having a survival kit will help you do just that. I just happen to have one right here on my back.
That's
it's
a nice
all prepared.
one.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
thank
a nice
you.
one. That's good.
In your survival kit, you're going to want a few items, but I'll list off a couple that are key. First would be a water bottle. When I went to the EBSCO host database before this whole thing happened, which I accessed on April 29th, Janelle Raymond from the Arizona Daily Star said that there are a few items the CDC or the Center for Disease Control says you should make sure to have handy to survive the zombie apocalypse. And on that big list, the first item on there was 1 gallon jug of water. You don't necessarily need to have a 1 gallon jug of water, but have something that can hold or store water. The second item that I would say for you to have handy on you is something to start a fire, like matches or a lighter, something that will help you get a fire going easily. From the website wildernesssurvival.net that I accessed on May 4th, fire is especially important in cold weathers. It not only provides means to prepare food, but also provides warmth. You can use this fire to also, purify water that's just out there, and that's a good source of water as well. But be careful when you are setting a fire, because when you set a fire, it's bright, and obviously it might be dark outside when it gets cold and stuff. So you might attract a lot of attention toward yourself when this fire is lit. So just be careful in that regard. Now that you know exactly what goes into a good survival kit, let me hand it over to Amanda, who will tell you what goes into a good hiding spot.
Thank you, Jeremy. When it comes to your safety, your number one concern should always be where you're going to camp out and where you're going to hide. You pretty much have two options for survival, and your best one is obviously to leave town. Get as far away as possible, go anywhere higher up, more secluded, like a mountain range or a steep hill. Your other option is to panic and run, which you do not want to do. Because if you do that, you'll want to run into the deepest forest you can find. According to the article, How to Survive a Zombie Apocalypse, that I happened to access on April 29th, 2015, you are much better off being further away from people, ideally you would escape to an almost empty region like the Rocky Mountains. The higher up you are, the higher your chances for survival are. If you choose to run into the woods, make sure you have a working compass like most of your smartphones would have on them, and a lot of water, at least enough to last you for 2 days. The deep forest is a good temporary hiding spot, but I wouldn't recommend staying there for too long. You can hide pretty well between the trees and the shrubs, but you'll eventually have to worry about the wildlife that lives in there, because they will find you. Another safe place to consider is somewhere secluded, which is why the Rocky Mountains are your safest bet. According to the article, Zombie Apocalypse Get Out of Town, that I found on the Gale database on May 1st, 2015, it would take more than 4 months for zombies to trudge from large cities and suburbs to remote areas like Montana and Nevada.
Yeah, you're right. I heard this. Also, according to the article, 3 Tips on How to Survive an Apocalypse, published in January 23, 2010 by Hugo Rifkind, he says that you also want to go by the countryside and from the plains.
Yeah.
So, away from the populated area and close to plains and hills.
Well, now that you guys know where not to go, or where to go, I'm going to tell you where not to go. And I just so happenly have to have this book, their Survival Zombie Outbreak, the official zombie survival field manual book that I carry with me around all times. I just recently read this whole book a couple days ago, just in case. It states you want to stay, they call them hotspots, which are places where they are the most populated if something like this was to happen, and it did happen. This is places that people go to. For example, the grocery store, everyone's first thought is, let's go get some food, let's stack up. Bad idea, don't go. Firearms store, you know, everyone needs weapons. Liquor store, I don't know. Police station, you know, there's guns there. The shopping mall, that's really populated, and if it's very populated, it probably got hit by the zombies first. Restaurants for food, pharmacies for antibiotics or whatever. Gas stations, people's first thought is get out of town, like she said, by their cars. So you want to go and get your gas. Don't go there right away. And hospitals. That's where people are sick. That's where they go when the zombies, when you first start getting sick, so that's where people go. But if you do have to go to these places, do take extreme caution, you know, camp out and whatnot before you actually enter the building. But now that I told you, now you guys know where not to go, Jonathan, you talk about defense.
All right. I'm a professional at this. I love killing.
Okay. You okay?
You all right?
You all right?
Yeah, I'm kind of thirsty. I have to go for a drink of water, guys. Yeah.
Be careful out there.
Be
I
careful,
love
yeah.
I love you too,
Stay
man.
alert.
Go.
Stay alert. If you're not back in 10 minutes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, if I don't see you guys, it was nice knowing you.
Nice knowing you.
Be careful.
All right,
Be quiet. All right. Bye.
Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Caution right there.
All right.
Yeah.
Phew. Anyways, I'm going to talk about how to protect yourself against a zombie and also what weapons you can use. First thing there's always 3 things you should remember. The first thing is never panic. When you panic, it leads to irrational thinking, and irrational thinking leads to bad decisions. And bad decisions will probably lead to you either dying or worse, getting bitten by a zombie. Even look at us right now. We're in a closed room with only one way out, and we panicked because we saw zombies. I don't know about you, but I was peeing my pants.
Yeah. They came really close.
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Second thing is, we're smarter than zombies, and they're dumber than us. We can use our wits to get out of any situation, and what's the one thing they always want? They want flesh. They want some nice, juicy meat. Now, for me, when I'm in a bad situation, I keep some nice, fresh meat on me just in case. And if they come towards me, I toss them some meat, and then that's a decoy, and I can run in the opposite direction.
They're like dogs. They just love
Yeah,
it. They
this
eat
is how we
up.
survived for this long, because of me,
Yeah,
guys.
Walking Dead.
Yeah. And the third thing is from the movie Zombieland that was produced by Gavin Provolone, made in 2009, states that you should always have a buddy system. Two people are better than one. About a week ago, my mom, she went out by herself, and
Wait,
unfortunately she got
Josh just
bit.
went outside by himself.
No, he's fine. Don't worry
He's a
about it.
professional.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing it.
Yeah.
She got bit, and then the next day she was trying to eat me. So not a
is
good
she
thing.
the one that started all of this?
Possibly.
Oh my god.
All right, the next thing is everyone should have a gun. First, if you want to look for it at your house, because you're probably going to be at your house when the zombie apocalypse happens. Your parents will probably have a gun. If not, find a group of people that have guns, because you're going to need them. Second thing is, most important thing when you have guns, though, you want to save your ammunition as much as you can. You don't want to shoot around like crazy and miss zombies, because every bullet counts. If you can't find a gun, always try to find a big or sharp object. Like for me, for instance, I always keep my favorite machete with me. I keep it sharp at all times. And when I sleep, I always keep it right next to me. Other objects are a 2x4, soccer wrench, baseball bat, hockey stick, sledgehammer, anything to keep you away from a zombie. And then last, also the most effective way to kill a zombie, first, use a gun, because it's the farthest distance, and you can just shoot them right there. Second, you want to chop off their head. That's the most safest way. Also, go for their arms and legs. If you cut off their legs, they won't be able to get you, or their arms, they can't grab you. And then last, hit them repeatedly. In the article How to Kill a Zombie by zombiealive.com, which I accessed on May 4th, 2015, states, remember, a beating costs you nothing, so continue to beat an undead creature even though it appears to stop moving. Now that I have notified you on how to protect yourself against a zombie, Jeremy is going to review what we've gone over.
First, we should get Josh, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he's ready.
Oh, God.
Oh
my God, Jeremy! No. You alright, Eric? Oh. Die, you disgusting demon! Is everyone alright?
Okay.
Hold on. We gotta make sure he's dead.
Check him.
I'm gonna stab him a few times.
Overkill.
I think he's dead. I think he's
cut off
dead.
his head.
All right.
He's dead. He's dead,
dead.
He's
guys.
good.
Clearly,
We're good.
we've demonstrated enough evidence to tell you that we know what we're doing. You learned how to decide what a zombie is. You learned what a survival kit takes to be made, and you know where to go to survive and what tools you need. Now that you know all these things, let's
go.
get out there and survive.
Let's fight some